Okay, definitely a little bit nervous for this.
Of course, it looked quality, but right now, PSG are playing their game. They've got the Aurelian Soul to back that up as well. Our Spring Kings of the PCS are one step closer to getting into the main stage and getting revenge for last year, where Golden Guardian said last chance qualifier. That's an easy 3-year.
It's important to remember that last year was the first time we introduced second seeds into MSI, right?
True.
Primarily, it was an exclusive tournament to the winners of each of the regions, and North America, as you rightly said, dominated when they did go up against their rematch against PSG. So for FlyQuest to lose here would definitely be a huge disappointment for North America, but I'm not going to count them out just yet.
Not just yet. Remember, reverse sweep if you're counting in a best of 3 from FlyQuest in the first series. A quick note as well, I mean, this team, first in regular season as well. I think one of the most innovative I've seen out of North America recently as well. And seeing Inspired and Jensen on a team together with DAY4 having such a strong presence in the top side was good, as we've got to pay attention to this early map state with the invade coming from PSG down bot.
Yeah, going for the late invade here with the sweeper. They're going to take over. They're going to force the split. And it looks like DAY4 there going to head on down through the jungle. Both top laners are ganking from the top side, though.
Okay.
So we might have top laners meet up in the brush, the level 1s.
DAY4, is this an early gank mid?
Both.
Could be that as well, right? I wonder what he started. We'll find out shortly.
But it's Aurelian Soul. I don't...
He's like,
I like the idea. I don't know if it's really going to materialize into anything.
Just didn't in the end as well. DAY4 backing away, Inspired pinging up because he wants the vertical jungle straight away, immediately get this off the ground as DAY4 starts the camp.
All right, so Aja, meanwhile, is actually heading towards the lane to get some of the lane experience instead of helping out with jungle pushing.
Okay.
So this time around, it's going to be Aja who starts getting experience first as far as the top laners. This is definitely an adjustment by them as well.
Also, in terms of the turret push, this is a very fast 3-man stack that can push turrets. As soon as Rumble overheats as well, as soon as he gets level 2, man, that turret is going to die.
I mean, that's a great point, Hysterics, just because you think about the reality of lane swaps is the bot towers are weaker and easier to kill than the top towers are.
True.
And traditionally, the approach to lane swaps is you either fast push to threaten the dive, or you slow push to set up stack waves to then threaten a potential dive, right? But there's no one on the top side, so PSG have just said, you know what, we'll send Aja bot, we'll secure as many plates as we can as quickly as possible, and we'll get an advantage that way. And you can already see Aja hitting that level 2, 2 tower plates already secured for the team, and already PSG off to a good early gold start.
Yep, extra 50% damage reduction on the top side turret as well, so going to be a lot slower going there for FlyQuest. And they're going for the recall of the bottom lane, though, and leaving DAY4 on the top side. Once again, they did this
Aja should just
earlier ones
TP,
too.
I think.
And catch?
Yeah, I think he can just catch this whole wave. The important part is the timing,
Yep.
but now that the bot lane's gone, if he were to TP top, there's so much farm for him to catch. It would be absolutely massive for him. Instead, he's going to choose to stay.
Okay. With the
All right.
Stringer's here as well.
Well,
3
now
plates already taken.
This is interesting because Masu and Busio are making their way bot, but you look at the positioning of the jungle. Inspired is mid lane right now.
Yeah, they're going to zone them. 2v3. Try and keep them off tower. Try and keep them off those minion waves, because Inspired's so far behind.
DAY4 does have TP, but committing that to this tower would not be great.
And again, we're just waiting to see if Inspired comes in, as you said, a little bit behind the curve, as almost for the 4th plate here as PSG back off.
This has been so good for PSG.
Yep.
I mean, look at the bottom lane there. Pretty happy on that one. They get the teleports right back up on the other side as well. Honestly, see about the next couple of minutes here, because this wave pushing out away from Aja.
I mean, Aja is probably the best low economy Rumble I've ever seen.
I agree. Yeah.
It's just...
He did look a little dizzy. He's got a lot of practice with it, I
Yeah,
guess.
don't get me wrong.
He was a little dizzy, a little lost in some of the lane swaps, but this time around they got him right.
But
in
I guess
there.
it's one of the things why Rumble is such an effective support, right? He's a champion that works well on a low economy just because of the high raw base values that the champion can provide. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Maple doing what Aurelian Soul often does in this matchup. Find some nice trades, be an effective bully. Jensen should be fine, though. Catch this wave, should be relatively even in the mid wave. Again, though, we find ourselves in a situation where I would argue that Aja should be behind in experience, but you look at the bars underneath the icons, and while DAY4 should be a little bit ahead, Aja's right behind him.
Good point. I mean, again, that wave crashing out now. DAY4 able to catch some of it, but the range from the Electro Harpoons are coming in handy. Meanwhile, the bottom side of Masu and Busio are finally getting the pushback in response, but let's not forget, almost 4 plates were taken by Betty Woody with Ardra as an accompaniment, and for them to find something here feels like a must for FlyQuest in this early game to start evening out.
Yeah, that's the big advantage, and kind of the thing that's like baked into the game now, as far as the extra pushing power down there on the bottom side. First turret plate there, though, for the FlyQuest duo.
Credits to the bot lane of FlyQuest. They zoned Betty and Woody completely off that wave. Originally, they had about like a 9 CS lead, which has now disappeared. And they're able to get a plate off the back of it. So comes back into question of like, maybe they just wanted to avoid those early levels from the Ashe Kalista where it can be very terrifying. Now that they've secured level 4, they seem a lot more comfortable being able to play out this 2 versus 2.
Yeah, I wonder if this gank actually works.
Let's find out. Betty, no, the heal comes from Woody actually to get into range onto Busio. He's already used the clone. His flash not going to be burnt though, as Junja now spotted out. Wind becomes lightning. Betty and Woody zoned out though, as Busio happy to take the damage with only the heal in response from Masu.
And Inspired immediately, seeing him down there for that gank, jumps right on the objective to clear it out. But it should just be a dragon trade as well in the end. But here we go. Jensen going to come down and check what he's doing.
Peekaboo. Junja there waiting. Emperor's Divide. He slides, he glides, and Jensen's just out with the ulti. But in front of Dragon, mid should be an easy take for PSG.
Yeah. It's one of the both, I think, pros and cons of Inspired. He's a jungler that often likes to play for himself. And I genuinely think that with the way that they had stacked up bot, they could have threatened a dive. Yep. Whether or not it would have paid off is still debatable, but Inspired in a position, the moment that the bot lane survives the gank, immediately unlocks an objective for him. And smartly from Junja being able to find that cross map, but Inspired now immediately uses this pressure to move into the top side and steal away these camps, and this is what he as a player is very good at. Playing against the enemy jungler, finding advantages where he can, and gaining that map control.
Here's my question. If Inspired was just going to go farm topside jungle and split map anyway, and they were going to give that dragon, why did Jensen go face check to put the ward into Dragon and then use the Azir ult? I mean, it's not a huge deal, the Azir ultimate cooldown, but
maybe he wanted to ward the Dragon, expecting it to be sided, and they wanted a good timing on when it would start.
Also, gentlemen, because topside is going to turn into an equalizer. Ardra flashes out of range, Inspired matches, but Whippo didn't get the stun down. Double flash for Ardra to lead him on a goose chase. He now heartbreakers, but Maple's coming in. A star descends, and they're setting up first blood. FlyQuest over chase, and just like that, their chances are getting slimmer.
Over chase again. That was their big sin in the first game, Vedius. They repeat that sin again here. Bwipo and Inspired. They want Aja too much.
They tunneled way too much on the kill, and they should have just been happy with the summoners. The moment that Bwipo did not connect the stun, that should have been the signal with which, all right, we can't get this kill anymore. But they overcommit Maple with the collapse, and now the Aurelion Soul has 2 kills to his name.
It's heartbreaking for what was my excitement coming into the tournament for the top side of this team. We'll watch again, because I love that you guys said the overchase was here. It took so long to even catch up with Ardra in the end.
So we look back at this dive. Nice use of the Rumble ultimate to slow them down.
Really
the
good.
Slow from the ultimate means that Whippo can't actually close the gap. And at this point, the flashes are traded. It's fine, you disengage, but then they overcommit, and I mean, this is just easy for Maple, right? The whole combo comes through.
Yeah, and what are the comms like right now? Aurelion Sol is a champion, you know, being able to move so quickly there.
Oh, yeah.
And leaving mid-wave. Oh, man. That is so good for PSG, though.
Yeah. I mean, for Maple to get a double kill on Aurelion Sol this early, Rylai's has just been picked up. He's got a bounty, 700 gold lead over Jensen. And we saw even last game in a lane matchup that we questioned as how will Maple get through? How will he deal with the range from the Hui that Jensen was on in game 1? In game number 2, we talked about Maple getting a free chance to scale against Jensen here. It's been such a big early game, and PSG trying to make it greater with Junja moving to the bot side. Masu is isolated by himself. The arrow connects. He's got no cleanse. He's knocked up, and for a second time, he's taken down. There we go. Betty picks up the kill, and a third one to PSG means this early game is a disaster for North America.
PSG are just smashing them now. Masu dying down here under turret means they have free reign of the entire bomb side of the map. It's so low, they'll be able to finish off that tower and then reset and rotate over to mid again.
Jungle 2v2 begins. Inspired looks for the chase. The singularity comes through. Great ulti from Junja. Denies Jensen from getting in range. Meanwhile, the bottom side picks up the turret. And bot is a wide open map right now as the chase ends there. But the back, number 1 and number 2, no! Masu doesn't get the ulti off in time. It's just all going PSG's way every time you look.
I mean, again, we have to go back to how this whole lane swap started, and I don't think that FlyQuest were ready for PSG's response. Committing the Rumble to securing that tower bot was so smart, and it set this bot lane up perfectly for success. A nice arrow connects onto Masu. He has no support from his team. There's nothing that he can do. He's literally chain CC'd, and it is an easy kill into easy tower. And now they swap their bot lane up towards top. There was the opportunity for them to move into mid, but they still want to keep Maple there for the time being. So instead, they'll transition their point of strength to where more tower plates are available for the taking, and it also sets them up nicely to contest the Grubs.
Easy as that, isn't it? I mean, PSG getting deep vision alongside it too. You see that Masu kind of rotates towards mid. He's going to be able to push that one out, but as you already said, Betty, the tower plates that go with it make it huge. It's a 2K gold lead here in this early game. And it feels like it's going to grow from there as well. More so looking, Maple has himself the Sky's Descent from what I can see on the sidebar. So we get towards another fight. A bit of an upgrade here for PSG to play around with again.
I mean, PSG, it's just such a big difference here where they've made really good adjustments from the first series, whereas it seems like FlyQuest is kind of living in the past and they keep doing these over-chase plays, trying to force like the same way that they won last time around.
Jensen's on a ward. Arrow's going to follow through. He's got nothing to dissuade it. Wind becomes lightning. Jensen's ulti saves him for now. A good slide out. Otherwise, he was dead meat and adding more gold to the pile.
Jensen even gets to keep his flash. Well played. Kind of the consistent stalwart here for FlyQuest as he remains strong. A scaling late game opportunity still stands with him. FlyQuest definitely not completely out of this game just yet as a TP comes through from Jensen to catch this top wave. Dragon going to be spawning. That investment of the TP means that it's harder to contest, but here comes FlyQuest. This dive's not going to be easy though.
Equalizer makes it hard again, doesn't it, gents? Whippo at half HP and FlyQuest moves.
But look at the PSG squad, they're on their way down.
Exactly, Aja on this Rumble, once again, he ults the wave, he buys the time, they can't go for the dive. It's too threatening now, the roam for mid lane. And this might actually be it though. I mean, Jensen has to walk all the way from top lane, so he's a little bit far.
Dominus used Astral Flight, he's going in. I mean, this Aurelion Sol wants to go in, but against Busio, no! PSG so overconfident. It's the Sky's Descent, but Whippo, as he gets taken out, it still looked okay. Inspired down over the back wall though, and even though Fly got the opening kill, even though they punished, PSG are so damn strong, so early in the game. Masu's up next, great sidestep as Inspired looks to punish further. Jensen moves in, but he doesn't have an ult. Easy arrow connects again. No cleanse seems like a mistake as PSG still find the end of the fight.
Exactly, it's huge for PSG because that would have been a good play for FlyQuest if Jensen still had his teleport. But he did not have his teleport, so that Azir is walking all the way from the top side of the map. They still went for the play. They still thought they could pull it off with the big AoE, but look at the response here from PSG.
You look at the start of this fight, and it seems like the perfect setup. Busio goes in, the Bwipo Renekton is right behind him, the resets are going to come through from Inspired, but this ultimate as well from Maple doing so much damage even though he loses his life. And crucially, you look at this situation, 4 versus 2. Where is Jensen sitting in mid lane? It was so difficult for him to get involved in the fight because of how far away he was from it. And as you rightly said, Kobe, no TP means no involvement, and FlyQuest lose 3 and the Dragon as well.
My hopium was up. I saw that and I thought, wow, FlyQuest, what a setup, what a punish. But quickly shifting my mind with a 3K gold lead and a double dragon picked up. PSG in this game number 2 continue to exemplify, now with a bounty on Aja as well.
And they should be so proud. This is really, really big stuff for PSG. I mean, after last year where they didn't get through the play-ins, back-to-back tournaments, now to be on the precipice here, forcing North America to the edge and looking like they're going to make it through to the main stage, very, very impressive stuff.
Let's see if they can close this one out. They're set up to secure the Herald right now, but they're not committing to the objective. Jensen finds himself in bot lane, no TP available, but I don't think FlyQuest want to try and force a fight anytime soon. I'm surprised PSG chose not to force that. It looked like a very uncontested objective. You look at the vision control as well. PSG have set themselves up nicely on that top side river. Now they move towards it after securing another wave. Maple going to push out top as well, and this should be all they need to secure the mid tower.
Meanwhile, Equalizer on the bottom side to look for that trade, to look for stopping the trade as Jensen sits under. He keeps ordering it. I think he wants to die for it. Meanwhile, we look at Maple on the top side. A Falling Star will erupt, and it gets a stun on Bwipo and Inspired with a TP as well. Bwipo just burning down. Woody finds the kill, and I don't think they're expecting that much damage that soon.
The TP adds insult to injury because this tower is going to go down anyway, but by TPing top, it helps secure that tower for RG.
Arrow. Oh, it almost connects. Either Busio or Masu were in trouble. Inspire's going to cover this while Junja moves across mid. Just to find the pick, they continue on. Busio's ulti is not without a risk. Maple picks up the kill. This is just running away, gentlemen. The goal keeps getting bigger, and FlyQuest options are so slim.
Yeah, that was a nice little pick from them, and they're not even done.
Help me, Jensen. He needs a hand, but a breath of light, a follow through. Singularity flushed away from, at least he gets the Emperor's Divide, but under turret. Junja cares not. A Crescent Guard buys him some time as Grippo and Inspired look for the reset. He goes for the Audacious Charge, but he gets no escape. Still PSG look for it as the face call onto Masu is up next. They're trying to exemplify their experience in the 2v2 as Maple just flies away. Grippo's there. Inspired ulties, but he's sitting in the Singularity. The poke that comes out of PSG's bottom lane is insane as Busio came over the wall. FlyQuest are crumbling. They get no moves, no response, but this is just how good PSG are. The experience is walking over them.
Oh, man. What must the comms be like, too? Because Busio jumps over the blast cone and then reveals himself there inside the pit, too, to give another one after just reviving. That whole time, by the way, on the minimap, you could see Aja was just up top side like, okay, I'm taking the tower up here. And yeah, you can see it on the minimap now. He starts up there by the outer, and Aja eventually ends up down by the secondary one, finishing that one too. But here was the original play.
I mean, really nice read from Junja to be able to find that pick on the Jensen. FlyQuest decide to commit onto Junja rather than trying to chase down Maple. And at this point, they're thinking maybe we can get a little bit more, but they realize that once Maple makes it over the wall, he can actually still win this 2 versus 3, and FlyQuest is forced to disengage. Busio says, hey guys, I'm here, I can turn this around.
No!
And it ends in disaster. Woody with the vision as well. He has the flash, choose it. Actually, no, I'm incorrect. I thought that he had it available, he didn't. Now he should have it up. But FlyQuest lane assignments have just been falling apart for them. PSG have been playing the map better.
Oh, it still hits every time, you're right.
The lack of cleanse, you called it earlier, Hysterics. We're seeing the consequences now, the Herald as well. PSG are dominating in this second game.
There's a reason this team always makes a miracle run. I mean, third in the regular season, but they make the playoff run work. They beat down Japan as well. And in such a convincing grand final, we thought, hey, PSG again, macro kings of their region. It looks like the development can't be understated as well as Zenittar's going to follow through with pick after pick after pick. That now leads them to about an 8K gold lead, maybe less.
Yeah, I think it's really admirable, you know, looking at the last series and the little adjustments to make for themselves, and it looks so much stronger here in this one for the second time in a round. Should be Dragon Soul point for them.
Lucius found out Woody and Ardra on the side. TP's going to be burned. I mean,
okay,
Soul point wants to be denied.
They're going to full send here. They're going to full send. They know it's going away from them.
Dominance from Whippo. The smite needs to come down. Junja's on it. He ults for it as well. Ardra zones out the all-in on this Aurelion Soul's great. FlyQuest with a chance as Busio comes in and shows off. Inspired. Excuse me, Jensen's ult was also great, but there's not enough damage yet. Betty, Ardra, knock him down. Busio off the backline, no matter how good his engages have been. It's not enough, and Masu has to run into this composition with no support, with no front line. The guy is out in Narnia again, as this time it's PSG finding them off the back of Dragon.
A desperation teamfight from FlyQuest that looks good to start. Maple is the target that they're able to shut down, but you have to feel that the wallet difference is just too big. They don't quite have the itemization that they need. And now with 16 kills to 3, PSG put themselves at soul point.
How do you approach this? I mean, for FlyQuest, this is looking like it could be done in 25 minutes, 30 minutes. A quicker departure than a lot expected as we break down this all-in onto Maple.
Yeah, you have to full send at this point because you're falling so far behind. So they go for the pincer movement, and they do get their first kill. Inspire throws out the fist bump as they get the kill onto Maple. But again, the Dragon still getting off these ultimates. When the Meteor landing as well, just so much damage here from the rest of PSGs. They all collapse. So while the target was acquired, and they got their one kill, PSG in the aftermath, wipe them off of Summoner's Rift.
You got to remember that PSG's comp have so many damage threats. Even their support is just chipping away at you. You look at the damage on your screen, 2.5k from Woody in that fight. The idea from FlyQuest was good. I like the execution, but as I mentioned, I think that the goal difference is just too big at this point. They are reliant on PSG making a significant throw to be able to turn this game around. A Baron steal or something is what FlyQuest needs.
Yeah, honestly, just keep forcing on one side of the map. Send everybody at once and hope that you can make a...
But the problem is PSG. I mean, you see FlyQuest forcing on one side. PSG are here. It's a star falling onto Jensen. He's almost dead by himself. Junja goes into the backline and are making short work. Look at Arja cutting off their realm of escape. That dragon is unholy. We need the Dover kid on FlyQuest to deal with Maple right now.
PSG cut through FlyQuest like a hot knife through butter. They just melt under the pressure. The bot side of the map is completely eviscerated. And now the Baron to boot. I was not expecting this performance from PSG. But after their defeat to FlyQuest, they have shown colossal improvement. And we're going to see them, what adding seems to be the final nail in the coffin for FlyQuest.
Ash Arrow into Falling Star there from Maple, chunking him down low, and the rest of the squad already on the way to finish the job.
We go again. When have you seen an Aurelion Soul 1v1ing a Renekton? Whippo is breathed down. 7, 2, and 6 on this Aurelion Soul. He doesn't even need his third item at this point. Is at 21 minutes, a Red Bull Baron power play is going to start picking up work.
So there are bounties on every member of PSG, though.
Attaboy, Kobe.
There's an ace would go a long way.
Yeah,
I agree
exactly.
with you.
Go identify one of those bounties. Let's start small. One step at a time. One bounty at a time.
I like it. Again, look, this is not the first time you and I have seen FlyQuest demise in front of our faces. I think the biggest thing is we saw the adaptation on day number 1. We saw some pretty good moments here from this team, but the second seed of LCS is close to being eliminated, and PSG are now rampaging the base in order to secure themselves into the main stage. Remember, this is not just the hope of the PCS. OCE, LJL attach themselves to this region now. They represent a mass, a group. PSG are doing them proud right now with a potential 2-0 on the timeline. Inspired's trying to defend this, but look at the Baron minions do work. Look at the poke that's coming from Arja in the lane swap. The all-in. Falling Star doesn't need to connect because Junja, Crescent guards, zones them away. The pick comes through. Double inhibitor down. Now is it going to be the end is the question.
PSG have the Nexus in their eyes. They have a spot in the group stage of MSI, and they're not going to hold back.
Revenge is looking good, isn't it? Not only for day 1, but for last year. FlyQuest sitting near their fountain, the poke coming through. Baron minions number 2 on the way. The cannon has range, and PSG is zoning FlyQuest from getting anywhere near the circle right now. At least their defense eventually holds on, but at 15k gold disadvantage and Ocean Soul, we know what's coming up next, especially with that Baron power play moving to 4k.
Good news is that Woody is low. The bad news is that they have to walk into a Cosmic Dragon in order to even have an opportunity to contest it. And as our observers just highlighted for us, there is no vision on the side of FlyQuest. They cannot see anything. The face check is terrifying. Here comes the TP. FlyQuest are not going to go down without a fight.
Hail Mary, root down onto RG, flashes away, that's a win. Dominus already popped by Bufos, he runs on in too. But this Dragon, remember, objective bounty if they can do anything about it, but there's also a super minion at the base, knocking away and making minions work. PSG look for the engage, otherwise knowing that FlyQuest have to base away. The arrowheads too, and Busio's ulti might be okay, but it doesn't find a target in the end. Woody flashes forward, gets Fate's call to be saved away. It's insult to injury. It's equalizer to Masu. It's FlyQuest on their last legs at MSI for this year.
PSG don't even need the Dragon. They're going to run down FlyQuest. Inspired, trying to get something back.
He does get something. There's a shutdown there, but Betty, remember this Callista does one-shot work. Mabel still finds a burn on Masu eventually, and Betty with a rend out is going to find Inspired, but there's a trade. It slows the game down for whatever that's worth.
Inspired gets a couple of heroic kills at the end, but it's still going to be PSG moving back to the Dragon Soul, picking up that extra big Ocean Dragon Soul buff. Let's see, Busio and Whippo kind of messing around. Two Renekton's in the jungle. Vedius not going to have any chance of stealing that one. Let's take another look at it.
Whippo just gets melted. He's trying to act as the front line, but you see how quickly he gets torn apart by Junja of all people. The Ash Arrow connects in this choke point. FlyQuest just get run down by Maple and Junja, and they're just forced to retreat. I respect the ideas here from FlyQuest. They know when they have to fight. And from Inspired, finding this pick, converting it into a kill onto Betty as well. Great position to be in.
Oh, no! I thought the burn was just that hard.
I thought it would be the burn, but the super minion helping PSG out. The goal difference is 12.5K. FlyQuest really need a miracle to turn this game around.
And those two players on your screen there, Betty and Maple. They have made deep runs at MSI before when they were on Flash Wolves. These two consummate veterans of the scene, poised to get to the main stage. Is that 285 Stardust stacks for Maple?
Yes, Kobe, yes it is.
Who's level 15 and a half. Definitely feeling confident here. All the power of the Cosmos.
And let's remember the reason why PSG are looking like an improved team. Junja's come in. This guy has been around experience for a lot of his competitive career. Now getting a chance to shoulder as TP comes through. The last inhibitor turret on the line. The arrow flies through. It's a good dodge from Busio. But it's still an unnerving situation. The last inhibitor looks to drop even without the Baron buff. Inspired looks for an angle while PSG hold on to that Skies Descend that could end the world.
FlyQuest haven't given up just yet. They've sent Whippo to catch bot wave. Jensen, level 16 on the Azir. Third item still a ways away. Inspired goes for a 1v1, but he stands.
Archer stands and just churns damage at him. Inspired thought he could take him, thought it was something. But at this point, I'm not sure what the thought was. FlyQuest now, again, the base defense comes through. Junja quickly, swiftly takes them out. 3 members left standing, but the Spring Kings, the PCS that never misses out on MSI thanks to PSG. As the Skies Descend, will knock away FlyQuest, will move to the main stage, get revenge for last year's Golden Guardians, and make do their rights here at MSI 2024.
An impressive bounce back from PSG. Massive adaptations from the previous series against FlyQuest. And nothing but a clean series from them. They adapted to the lane swaps well. They drafted well.
Domination.
And FlyQuest, they were left out of sorts. A huge disappointment for FlyQuest. Their expectations were higher, but they will fall short here against PSG today.
They surely will. Adaptations for PSG, nicely done.
Yeah.
Big honors to Aja too. Much better game from him. He has had so much trouble with a lot of these lane swaps, but this game...
It was a fun journey to see them return to International after such a long time. I think it was 2020 that was the only other time that came through. But for now, we celebrate PSG.